Okay, so today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6 that's going to be coming out, the Red Dead Redemption 1 remaster that everybody's calling Red Dead Remade, and some other things on top of that. Like what do I expect in the future? Also, I'm going to be testing how to use this independent radio thing where it said that you can take audio files and put them into the actual radio. So I'm gonna try that as well. It might flop on its fucking face, but I have a YouTube to MP3 converter anyway, so we'll see if it works. I'm gonna be putting some of my music in it. I'm just interested because oh, hold on, let me put my fucking keys away. I just woke up. Yeah, so I don't even know how the fuck you would even begin to do this.
I was out there on the dance floor, and I was getting down. Oh, bloody hell, we gotta go do a.
Um let me actually look this up. Cause like I said, I've never done anything like this before with uh with games and stuff. I know that you could do it on I know that you could do it on what's it called? What was it? Saints Row 3, I think. And I think I did it on Saints Row 3, but I can't remember how I did it. So GTA 4 independent radio um in- independent radio custom music. How to add songs to independent the complete edition March 2020. Okay, this might not
Hey
work.
guys, here's a quick tutorial showing you how to add Liberty City.
Okay.
Step will be to open the Independence FM folder where the music will be stored.
Okay, fuck this. I'm not fucking I'm not fucking making a folder. I'm sorry. That I'm just too lazy. I thought it was gonna be as easy as making the MP3 file and then just inserting it, which honestly I think it should be, but oh well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the audio down because I'm just gonna have
Children are our future. All of
because I'm just gonna have the sound kind of low so that way I can easily speak over it. Um, so what are my thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, obviously, I have some issues with it, but I also kind of don't. There's a couple of reasons for this. My main issue with it, right, is how many fucking Grand Theft Auto games are we gonna have? You know? I've always been telling people this, that I feel like Rockstar has made so many bigger titles in the past, like Manhunt, and Manhunt was, I mean, it was controversial for a reason, so that's why I don't think they'll ever make another one, because they've made two of them, and the second one was worse than the first. Not in well, not really in terms of quality, because the second one was pretty good, but the first one was a classic. You know what I mean? And it's hard to beat a classic. And Manhunt had kind of just developed this niche fan base, and as you know, niche fan bases are very loyal because they feel like they're special for believing in what they believe in. And so I've been telling people this for a long time. When the fuck are we gonna get a Bully 2? I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 was fine. It was fucking perfect in terms of everything. They enhanced the fucking graphics. They put so many unnecessary yet welcomed details into the game, and it's like, it was welcomed, but at the same time, I don't think anyone would have also complained if we had gotten a Bully 2, which I think that is like, I think that's like their, what would you call, their hidden ace, you know? Say, like, if Rockstar was to come out with a game that God forbid fucking flopped. Which, I mean, let's be honest, giving the mixed reviews on Grand Theft Auto 5 could be a reality in the future. Um, I just feel like that's their hidden ace. If they come out with a shitty game that no one really cares about, then they're gonna come out with Bully 2, and obviously that's going to be a hit in sales regardless if it's good or not. And that's kind of my problem with the current Grand Theft Auto games, right? Is we have six of them. We have two Red Dead Redemption games, which I don't think they'll be making a third one, because I don't know, it would just be kind of awkward to pick up on a new story in the third one. And unless the third one is like a really, really well made prequel to the prequel, it wouldn't really make sense, because we wouldn't be playing as Arthur Morgan. And the reason I say that is because Rockstar isn't a huge fan of reusing protagonists, right? Um, they, I mean, to be honest with you, they had an option to reuse Claude Speed for Grand Theft Auto 4 if they really wanted to, but they didn't. They they rewrote the entire story of Liberty City, and they even redid the entire city of Liberty City. Because if you're somebody like who is in the know, you would know that Grand Theft Auto 3's Liberty City is not the same, nor is it as big as Grand Theft Auto 4's Liberty City. So, um, they had the chance to use Claude Speed again, and they didn't. And just like they will have reappearing characters, but they never reuse protagonists. Which means if you play as Arthur Morgan in one game, you're going to be playing as someone else in the next game. And that is just something they have always done. I've noticed this in like almost every Grand Theft Auto game. People want to see a return of Nico. I'm sorry, but Nico will never be coming back. you know, Claude Speed will never be coming back. CJ will never be coming back. I think his name is like what, CJ Johnson something. Um, and I don't make the rules. That's just something that they do. They just do not reuse protagonists. So, what are my thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6? Obviously, with Grand Theft Auto 5, they were already kind of playing with this idea of three protagonists, as seen from the Liberty City trilogy that I am playing right now, actually. And I don't know if that will be a mechanic again. I mean, to be honest with you, it just kind of seems like a one-trick pony at this point. Like, what? Like, why would you use this mechanic again specifically for Grand Theft Auto? You know what I mean? Let's say hypothetically, if they did make a Red Dead Redemption 3, I think that would be the game that they use the three protagonist kind of thing with. And on top of this, um we I mean we have a pretty good idea that it's going to take place in Vice City, because by this point we've already had like two games that take place in Liberty City. Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto 4. And we've already had two games that takes place in Los Santos. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 5. So it would make sense, right? If we are to follow this pattern, that we get a Grand Theft Auto 6 game taking place in Vice City. But this would not be the first time that Rockstar has neglected an opportunity like this. Like I said, we could have had a Bully 2 game. If they really wanted to, we could be waiting on a Bully 3 right now. But they haven't. They've neglected some of their other titles tremendously in favor of Grand Theft Auto 4 or of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. I don't know if anyone remembers this other game, but they used to have another game called Nightclub, and it was like a driving slash racing game. And I have very fond memories of that as well. It came out on the PlayStation 2, I think. It might have been on GameCube. I can't remember because I didn't have it for GameCube, but I do remember playing it on PlayStation 2. And anyways, I have a one-track mind. I apologize. So here's my thing with the Grand Theft Auto 6. With the Grand Theft Auto games, Rockstar has kind of always taken a back seat in terms of graphics with these Grand Theft Auto games. Um, you know, I'm not necessarily 100% nagging on Grand Theft Auto 5. Um, when the game first came out, it looked beautiful, right? But it seems like they always withhold the special shit for their other titles. It's almost like it's honestly almost as if they it's almost as if they purposely want to stylize Grand Theft Auto games in a somewhat realistic but also kind of cartoonish aesthetic, if that makes sense. So, if you were to tell me that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have the same amount of detail as Red Dead Redemption, I honestly wouldn't as Red Dead Redemption 2. I honestly wouldn't believe you because and I'll put it this way, hypothetically, if they do, then there's just going to be a better mechanic that they use for whatever title they make next. That's going to make Grand Theft Auto 6 look like a fucking low poly game. You know what I mean? They have they have always kept the better graphics, the better mechanics, the better visuals for their more serious titles like Red Dead Redemption. So there wasn't a huge gap in time from Grand Theft Auto 4 to Red Dead Redemption 1. And I know this is a bit of a dated reference because I don't think too many people nowadays realize just how advanced Red Dead Redemption was compared to like Grand Theft Auto 4. Like visually, Red Dead Redemption 1 knocked fucking Grand Theft Auto 4 out of the fucking park. Like at the time. And having horses that would like run around and do whatever you told them to, that was fucking unheard of at the time. Even to this day, Rockstar is the shareholder in horse mechanics. There has been no other game company that has perfected the details of a horse to this day. That's how fucking good they are. But like I said, they've withheld this type of shit from the Grand Theft Auto titles. Like it wasn't until the most recent Grand Theft Auto 5 update that they've decided to add animals. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 3 didn't have animals. San Andreas, to my knowledge, didn't have animals. Except for like maybe cows or something, right? But I think they would only like stay in place. Um, Vice City didn't have animals, other than like maybe birds. Grand Theft Auto 4 didn't have animals except for like birds. And for the longest time when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, it was the same tradition. They didn't have cats at the time. They did have dogs at the time, but they didn't have cats. They didn't have, like a lot of the fucking animals that's in the game now because a lot of those animals came in the much later update. And of course, to get these updates, you had to buy a more modern version of the game in stores or either updated on Steam or whatever the fuck. And but if we were to really compare the animals to Grand Theft Auto 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2, even the animals in Red Dead Redemption 2 knock whatever is in Grand Theft Auto 5 out of the fucking ballpark. It's like they put more time and effort into their more serious titles than they do with Grand Theft Auto. And this really makes me think that they're using Grand Theft Auto now as like a cash crop. You know what I mean? Um, and I hate to even say that, given how good the stories of like Grand Theft Auto 3 were, because I used to play that on the PS2 as well, and Grand Theft Auto 4, which even to this day is a snubbed title by Rockstar. It's almost like they don't even want to mention the existence of Grand Theft Auto 4. But the reason I say this is because they put so much time and effort into Red Dead Redemption 2's story. Not to say that they didn't put the same amount into Red Dead Redemption 1, they did. But if we're talking about the popularity of online, I mean, let's be honest. Grand Theft Auto 5 in terms of popularity with online trumps that of Red Dead Redemption 2 online. And they put so much money into like Grand Theft Auto 5 online updates that it's ridiculous. It seemed like every other month they were coming out with a new fucking update, more heists, more mechanics that you can do to get more money and shit like this, the shark cards and stuff like that. Um, as to where, recently Red Dead Redemption 2 Online has just recently been announced as dead. They killed it. Red Dead Redemption 2 Online it's dead. Even Rockstar came out and said that. But take Grand Theft Auto 5 that's been out for like almost what, a decade now? Online for Grand Theft Auto 5 is still up and kicking, which is fucking crazy. And I've seen people watch um well no I've watched people who play Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and I swear to you that that is the only redeeming factor of Grand Theft Auto 5 to these people, because they haven't even played the main story. These people like let's players or these YouTubers and shit, they I've seen it before where they will buy Grand Theft Auto 5, not even touch the story, and just play online. Like that is insane, right? Because it's like why even get it at that point, you know? And so if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the comparison of something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't know what does. Because if you were to take the fan base of Red Dead Redemption 2 and be like, and just by a show of hands say how many of you played the story, I guarantee you 95% of the people in that room will raise their hand. Because they all played the story first and they played online second. And I think partially a result of that is because Red Dead Redemption 2 Online didn't come out until much later on. But still, you know, it just talks about the quality of the story and how well the game itself was made, that people would actually prefer the story over online. But let's take that hypothetical and apply it to Grand Theft Auto 5. if you were to fit like 20,000 people into a room and say, how many of you played the story of Grand Theft Auto 5? I think like maybe half of them would raise their hand, and the other half would just be purely people who have only played online, with friends and shit. It's kind of like, I mean, I hate to say it, but that type of gaming mentality where you only buy a game for online and not the story is kind of what Call of Duty has become. You know what I mean? Some people would only buy Call of Duty just for the fucking zombies. You know what I mean? And the online co-op. They don't care about the story because they know that who makes Grand Theft Auto, is it Treyarch? Because they know Treyarch doesn't put as much effort into the story of their games than they do with online. And that's exactly what happened with Grand Theft Auto 5. So, can I can I expect something similar to happen with Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, I can't give you an answer to that, but I can tell you that I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Because that seems to be the trajectory that they've been going with Grand Theft Auto 5. Right, I mean, let's be honest. With the major success of Grand Theft Auto 5 online, that has made them millions of dollars on top of just the game itself, on top of just sales. So, if you're a company, why try to fix something that isn't broke? You know what I mean? So, I think in terms of money, yeah. Yeah, I think there is no reason why they shouldn't. And that's all I'll say on the topic. Because if you ask me, there's a reason why they put a halt on Red Dead Redemption remake. Like people like they already had developers working on the remake of Red Dead Redemption 1. But then it's like everything was put on a standstill because they had just announced that they were working on Grand Theft Auto 6. So now the people that were working on the Red Dead remake are not working on it anymore. They're too preoccupied with Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Well, why would they make Grand Theft Auto 6 such a priority? Because Grand Theft Auto games are the cash crop of Rockstar right now. And I hate to say it, but like I said before, Grand Theft Auto 5 does not look bad visually. But like I said, if we were to compare Grand Theft Auto 5 to something like Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption 2 still trumps that of Grand Theft Auto 5 in terms of visuals, in terms of mechanics, in terms of details, in terms of basically everything across the board. So, I'm not going to say that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to look bad. I don't think it will look bad. It's definitely not going to look like their original trilogy remake. Like the goof they made on Grand Theft Auto 3, the San Andreas remake, and the Vice City remake. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I don't think it's going to look as good as whatever comes after Grand Theft Auto 6. Because, like I said earlier in this playthrough, Grand Theft Auto has always been a satirical game. Like, the entire universe of this game is satirical. It's not supposed to look so realistic that you question whether it's a game or not. Certain aspects of it are supposed to look kind of cartoonish, like the NPCs. The NPCs are not going to look 100% superhuman, you know? Just like with Grand Theft Auto 5. If you were to compare Grand Theft Auto 5 NPCs with Red Dead Redemption 2 NPCs, of course Grand Theft Auto 5 NPCs are going to look less realistic. Because Grand Theft Auto is not that serious of a title. It's kind of just something they have fun with. And that is 100% the reason why I say that they don't put as much effort into these Grand Theft Auto games as they do with literally anything else. And I feel like there's kind of a reason for that. Because the last game that involved killing on a scale that you would in Grand Theft Auto was Manhunt. And that was suspiciously also the last time they put a ton of effort into a game, and it got banned in most countries and multiple continents. Like Australia, for example. And like most of Europe. And that includes both of those titles. Because at the time, Manhunt looked visually very fucking good for the time. And you know, when your main protagonist is like a borderline serial killer who is being forced to kill innocent people, that didn't ride well with the majority of the public. You know? So I feel like that is a contributing factor as of why, you know, why Grand Theft Auto games have always looked borderline cartoonish in comparison to the full capabilities of what Rockstar is capable of. Because let's be honest, if Rockstar wanted to make Grand Theft Auto 4 look visually as appealing as Red Dead Redemption 2, they fucking could do it. But they don't. That is a choice in terms of design department that they consensually make. I would say pretty much the only realistic part of the Grand Theft Auto games are the cars. You know, you can look at a car and be like, okay, this is supposed to be a Bugatti. Or, okay, this is supposed to be a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Because that is kind of always what Grand Theft Auto games have been about, is the fucking vehicles that you steal. The vehicles that you drive around all the time. Oh, shit. My fucking controller died on me. And I forgot what I forgot what I was saying. And oh yeah, I was talking about the cars in Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, I mean, you have to kind of put yourself in Rockstar's shoes. Do I really want to put this much effort into a completely satirical game. You know what I mean? um, where literally everywhere you look, there's a billboard with some kind of dick joke on it, or there's an island with a what do you call with a double meaning, like Johnson Island or something like that. Just like on some of these buildings, these these skyscrapers. On some of these skyscrapers, it has satirical fucking names, like the Get a Life building, or how the fucking Statue of Happiness is literally Hillary Clinton. It's not supposed to be serious, you know. But at the same time, it it just makes me think that because of this satirical nature of the game, that they put a lot of aspects that they otherwise could have put in the game in terms of mechanics on the back burner specifically because it's a Grand Theft Auto game. You know what I mean? Like like with this game, for example. Um and even some aspects of Grand Theft Auto 5. You can't tell me that they couldn't have programmed the unloading of the clip and the moving of the hammer and the slide. You know what I mean? They could have, but they didn't. And that's kind of the same with well, I don't know about the original version of Grand Theft Auto 5, but in the original version of Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't think the slides to the pistols even moved. But that's neither here or there. I think they added all of that stuff in the update because like I said, there is always a dramatic difference between um the first editions of the games and the last editions of the games because there's just been so much stuff added in between that point, you know? But yeah, um I'm not gonna lie to you. I was kind of disappointed whenever they announced Grand Theft Auto 6 because I was like, shit, dude, it's not that I'm not excited about it, but it's like come out with another fucking title at least. You know what I mean? Like Red Dead Redemption 1 was a major risk because they had just came off of the you know criminal atmosphere of Grand Theft Auto 4, which at the time Grand Theft Auto 4 was like what, one of the best-selling games at the time, like well, maybe it wasn't, but nonetheless, it was still a very good selling game. And they had just come off of that high. And now you're playing as this bounty hunter who works for the law in a cowboy atmosphere where there are no cars, you have to ride horses. Like, there was a lot at risk when they made Red Dead Redemption 1. But people still fucking loved it. You know what I mean? And I can't even remember where I was even going with that. But you know, oh yeah, I remember where I was going. That I was because I was talking about coming up with a new title. It's like at this point in time, Rockstar is scared to make a new title. because they don't know how the public is going to react to it. But I'll put it this way: you miss 100% of the shots you don't make. Like, you can't sit here as a game developing company and be scared of the reaction of changing things up, because more times than not, people are going to get tired of the fucking repetitiveness. Like, if you were to ask me, instead of, like, when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I didn't have a problem with it. But it's like, you look at Rockstar now, and it's like, okay, well, what the fuck is your next move? You're gonna make Grand Theft Auto 6, then what? Another fucking Red Dead Redemption? like, like if we're following patterns here, that just seems to be the next logical move for Rockstar. Are you really going to make a fucking uh um a backstory to an already prequeled game? Like, you're going to make a prequel to a prequel, and why? Because Red Dead Redemption worked in the past, so it must work now. Like, man, it kind of just comes down to, like, companies just caring more and more about money, because I've kind of just kicked this dead horse enough in this video, but Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, that was a fucking easy cash. Holy shit, that scared the fuck out of me. That was my controller vibrating on the TV. But Grand Theft Auto 5, that was easy money. That was easy money. And we can kind of we can kind of see why Rockstar went with a bank robbing game, because I'm going to be honest with you, if there is anything that a normal fan of Grand Theft Auto remembers from Grand Theft Auto 4, is the bank robbery mission with Patrick. Like, and I'm not saying that that is all that Grand Theft Auto 4 is remembered by, but it's one of the main focal points, right? Um, and I'm just saying that from the perspective of someone who isn't as deeply embedded in the Grand Theft Auto community or the Rockstar community. Like, if you're just some average Joe who just happened to buy Grand Theft Auto 4 around the time of when it came out, and, like, somebody asked you 10 years later after you had already beat the game and you just didn't touch it again, if they asked you, "What do you remember from Grand Theft Auto 4?" they're probably gonna mention the bank heist mission. You know what I mean? And it sucks, but I mean, that kind of just proves Rockstar's mentality. They were like, well, people really liked the bank heist mission in Grand Theft Auto 4. Let's make a fucking game on it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad because nobody really gives a fuck about Grand Theft Auto 5's story. You know what I mean? And it kind of just comes full circle about people just buying Grand Theft Auto 5 just for online. They don't give a fuck about the story. They just bought it for online so that they can play with friends and stuff. So even that concept kind of flopped for them specifically. So So what are my final thoughts on a Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, I can tell you this. If it's another cash grab game, I wouldn't be surprised. If it and like I said, I'm not expecting it to look like a bad game, but you know, it comes down to what can we do as the bare minimum to make a game look better than the previous one. Let's see, cloth mechanics, which is something they didn't even have in Grand Theft Auto 4. you know, and in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can wear like a t-shirt or yeah, you can wear like an unbuttoned t-shirt and the shirt will fucking, flutter in the wind or every time you run or something like that. Um they had a little bit of that in Grand Theft Auto 5, and the only reason they added it is because Grand Theft Auto 4 didn't have it. So it's like Rockstar is like, okay, what is the bare minimum we can do to make Grand Theft Auto 5 visually look a little bit better than Grand Theft Auto 4? You know what I mean? Like okay, they added um pot marks on Michael DeSantis' face. So the fuck what? You know what I mean? Um but it's like and like I said, I've beaten this horse like 1,000 times now, but you know, with Grand Theft Auto 5, you can't tell me that the technology has changed that much between the time of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. If they really wanted to put, like being able to see the sunlight through people's ears and nostrils and shit in Grand Theft Auto 5, they would have put the time in to do it. They would have found a way to do that. And that's just me being 100% honest. But they didn't. They didn't. They didn't put the time into doing that. They didn't put the time into even trying to make Grand Theft Auto 5 look all that realistic. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's a satirical game, and they don't want to make a satirical game look so realistic that you start to take even the satirical parts in the game uh seriously. So I don't know. I have somewhat high hopes for a Grand Theft Auto 6, but it's like at the same time, it's like, come on, you can't expect Grand Theft Auto 6 to look as good as whatever comes after it, because I guarantee you $100 that whatever comes after Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to look miles better than whatever the fuck Grand Theft Auto 6 is. I mean, that's almost a promise at this point, because you know, like I said, as a game developing company, you have to kind of have that hidden ace up your sleeve. Um, you have to, like, and I'm not even well, I am kind of saying that they did it on purpose, that they didn't put as much attention into detail with Grand Theft Auto 5 compared to, Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption 2, I am saying that, but the whole point, right, is that it's like, why bother? That's kind of ultimately what it comes down to, is why bother, because they know that and especially if they were to look at analytics today and be like, okay, well, how how many people played the story of Red Dead Redemption 2 compared to Grand Theft Auto 5? If they were to look at the analytics, and and they can look at the analytics of just how many people that Grand Theft Auto 5 had acquired online compared to how many people Red Dead Redemption 2 acquired online. And they'll look and say, well, okay, well, what works and what doesn't? And of course, as a company, you're going to fix what doesn't work. So who knows? Maybe in Grand Theft Auto 6 there will be even less emphasis on the story than what can be given online. There there might be better missions online than there ever would be in the actual game story. Which is kind of the case with Grand Theft Auto 5, if I'm being completely honest with you. But Grand Theft Auto 5 online kind of became ridiculous. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't even play Grand Theft Auto 5 online. I don't even pay for PlayStation Plus. I think it's a waste of fucking time. I come from an era where PlayStation Plus is considered a fucking scam, because I come from the PlayStation 3, and this is the sad part, that these kids nowadays will never have experienced PlayStation 3 online, where that shit was free. Like, these kids nowadays are being raised in an environment where they have to pay for fucking everything. They will never know what it's like to just cut your console on, not even touch your fucking mom or dad's billfold, and just play with some friends online. Like, even to this day, if you buy Grand Theft Auto 4 online, there's still like full lobbies online of Grand Theft Auto 4, a game that came out over a fucking decade ago. If that's not called dedication, I don't know what is. But Grand Theft Auto 5 online just became fucking ridiculous. I mean, I keep saying, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me on that. That anytime you have a game where you have this fucking spy mobile that can fly through the air and shoot fucking rockets, that is beyond the realm of realistic. you know and it was kind of it was considered kind of quirky whenever in the main Grand Theft Auto story, that they had that James Bond car that laid down the road spikes, and it had like the machine guns in the front. That was kind of quirky, and it kind of worked. But if you had bought that same car off of online after the game, it doesn't have those features at all because it at that point they were like, well, this is gonna make it too easy. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know, man. The future of Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto in general specifically does not look good. If I'm being just 200% honest, it doesn't look good. If all they care about in terms of Grand Theft Auto games is how much money can I make out of this, I mean you might as well just call it quits, right? Because there is no reason, given given the time frame between Grand Theft Auto 5 and something like Grand Theft Auto 6 being announced, there is no reason why it should have took over a decade for them to even announce a sixth game if they were going to make one, which they are. There for a long time, people were questioning. I mean, are they even going to make another one? You know what I mean? Because it had been so long, and people just got tired. Like I said, people got tired of the repetitiveness, and they were like, "Well, I don't want to fucking play Grand Theft Auto 5 online for another like what 10 fucking 20 years." And that was absolutely 100% to who owns Rockstar? Is it 2K Entertainment, I think? Or maybe it's either Take-Two or it's 2K. I can't remember who specifically. I want to say Take-Two. Let me let me look that up right quick cuz I don't want to be wrong. Um cuz I do not want to be wrong about my facts, but I do know that it's either 2K or Take-Two. Um who owns Rockstar? Take-Two Interactive. I was right. So a lot of people prophesize this, if I'm being honest with you, that the reason GTA 5 online was so prophetized and took over a decade for them to announce a sixth game is because of Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two Interactive probably came to Dan Howitzer and said, "We need to make some money off of this game." As compared to like Rockstar's previous games, where like I mean I'm going to use Grand Theft Auto 4 as an example because like I said, this is a title that Rockstar tries to pretend doesn't exist anymore. But they Rockstar made the risk of making a game like Grand Theft Auto 4, one that they aren't necessarily proud of, but they still took the risk, you know? It didn't matter if they didn't make as much money as they probably expected. They still fucking made the game, and the fan base still loved it. You know what I mean? And it's almost like Take-Two Interactive told Rockstar quantity over quality. So and people have kind of prophesized this as well, that that is why Grand Theft Auto 5's story is not as good as Grand Theft Auto 4's, because it the same amount of detail has not been put into it, you know? Um which I can kind of agree with. I'm not gonna say that the story of Grand Theft Auto 5 is bad, but it's not on the same tier as Grand Theft Auto 4 or fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, and that is what ultimately kind of blows people's mind. It's like, how the fuck can a company like Rockstar, who made Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2's stories, make something so fucking lackluster like Grand Theft Auto 5? And how can a company that is prestigious as Rockstar, that is known for their fucking details in their games, that is known for their stories, that is known for, just more or less making a smash hit, fucking home run every single time they release a game, fuck up and drop the ball so hard on something like the original game trilogy remakes? like and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. It wasn't Rockstar's fault for why the remakes were so bad. um I mean, I'm not gonna say it's 100% their fault, because in a certain respect it is their fault for hiring this mobile company to do it for them. And I mean, let's be real for a minute. That was 100% because they didn't want to dedicate any time to doing it themselves. You motherfucker. But that it's 200% because they didn't want to put the time in themselves to do the remakes themselves. So they hired this mobile company to do the remakes for them. But in terms of quality itself, with the shitty graphics and stuff like that, the oversaturation of colors and things, that in and of itself was not really Rockstar's fault. It was the mobile company's fault for making such a shitty version of the remakes. But it was Rockstar's fault for hiring them in the first place. I'll put it like that. Um, and the whole reason I even clarify that is because I know for a fact that if Rockstar had put the time and effort into doing the remakes themselves, the remakes wouldn't be bad at all. You know, Rockstar put such an emphasis on punishing uh modders in the community that more times than not, Rockstar will come out and do exactly what these modders had done to the game 10 years ago. And that's kind of a big controversy in the community, that Rockstar punishes modders and then, comes up 10 years later with a remake or an update using almost the exact same engine that the modders had used. And people and this is mostly just a a PC thing, because obviously you can't use mods on console. But I do think it's kind of a good thing, because you're introducing these modded aspects. You know, these aspects that modders could do with the game, that the company has come out with, and letting console players experience it. Because it's not just PC players that experience these remakes and these updates and stuff like that. it's console players as well. So they are essentially introducing console players with, well, this is what this game could look like in the newest Unreal Engine. You know, Rockstar is basically giving an introduction to console players. Like, well, if you want this game to look better, there are modders in the community that can do this, and which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing because at the same time, even though Rockstar is indirectly introducing people to the modding community and being like, well, this is the capabilities of what something like this is capable of. At the same time, they're still punishing modders, which, I mean, to anyone with a brain, doesn't make sense. But I can kind of understand it for blah, 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 licensing reason. I can't say that word. Licensing reasons that they wouldn't like modders in their games and shit, but literally any other company just doesn't care. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I've seen other game companies actually endorse modding because they're like, hey, they're like, hey man, you did something that we couldn't do, or they'll be like, hey man, you made this game look better than we could. And more specific, I mean, to be quite specific on that front, Simpsons Hit and Run. The people who made the Simpsons Hit and Run game for, I think, like what, PlayStation 2, I think. They endorse modders. They endorse people who more or less remake their game, and they actually applaud them on it, which is kind of admirable. But Rockstar just is not interested for license reasons and I guess promotional reasons as well. We have, we have people modding our games better than making it look better than what we can make it. But to be 100% honest with you, whenever you stockpile like 1,000 mods or like 100 mods on your computer, it starts to run slow. Um, these games by themselves do not look bad. Um, I don't care what any modder has to tell me. These games do still kind of hold up because there's only so much you can do with a mod to make a game like this look better. You know what I mean? Like I said, the NPCs, they still look somewhat cartoonish, and you can make a legitimate debate about whether making this game look more realistic than what it has to actually kind of makes it look more corny. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't the developer's intention anyways. They didn't want to put all this work and effort into making it look hyper realistic. Um and that kind of just, like I said, I've been beating a dead horse in this ramble the entire time, but um that they purposely just go out of their way to just do the bare minimum in these Grand Theft Auto games to be like, okay, well, what are some little things we can add? What are some little things we can do to make this game look a little bit better than the previous one? They're not trying to knock it out of the ballpark. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this ramble. But yeah, that is my personal beliefs on what is to come next of a Grand Theft Auto 6 game. Uh, my my hopes are not too high because I have an idea of what to expect, but you know, for every kind of bad game, Rockstar is going to have one like Grand Theft Auto 4 or Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead Redemption that is going to knock the previous game out of the fucking park. So with Grand Theft Auto 6 being announced, fingers fucking crossed that whatever comes after Grand Theft Auto 6 is the best shit we've ever seen in our lives. You know what I mean? And you know, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is Rockstar is unpredictable. Who knows? Maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the most visually outstanding piece of work we have ever seen to date. Because we know that they have the capabilities of doing it now because we have Red Dead Redemption 2. But it's a matter of if they do it. Will they do it? And for my personal reasonings and my personal beliefs, I don't think they will. But you're welcome to call my bluff on that. Because I don't think that they want to make the Grand Theft Auto series look all too realistic because there's a shit ton of killing in it. And if you're going to make a game that has a shit ton of killing in it, like Red Dead Redemption 2, it better damn have a good fucking story to come with it to win awards and shit. You know what I mean? You better come out the fucking gate with your big guns out already because if you make a mass murdering game like Manhunt with good graphics, like because like I said, Manhunt at the time had outstanding graphics for its time, but you have a lackluster story, your game's getting fucking banned in most places. I'm sorry, that's just inevitable. So yeah, uh, my rant is over. And you don't even have to watch this if you don't want to. So